Hello, how are you? My name is Aaron, and Pastor Chris just asked me to share 5 books that have been life-changing or influential in my own life as a Christian. I know there are others who are going to be making videos sharing their top 5 books. I think a lot of those books will probably be in the area of Christian living or theology, so I thought I would share 5 books in the area of apologetics. Apologetics has been important in my own life as a Christian and growing up and understanding what I believe and why I believe it as a Christian. I did go to Biola University and did my MA in the Christian Apologetics program there. So when we talk about apologetics, we're just talking about what we believe and why we believe as Christians, making a defense for the truth of the Christian faith and answering objections to Christianity. So my first book in this area is this one. It is called Love Your God with All Your Mind by J.P. Moreland. J.P. Moreland was influential in my own life growing up as a Christian and beginning to get into the area of apologetics. He's just a great guy. He's a great teacher. He teaches apologetics and philosophy at Biola, and I had the opportunity to take a couple classes from him. And in this book, what he does is he just emphasizes the importance of the role of the life of the mind in the Christian life. Jesus tells us that we are to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, soul, strength, and mind. You don't have to check your brains at the door to be a Christian. Using our minds is a way that we can glorify God. God is a God of reason and a God of logic, and we can use our minds to worship Him. So J.P. Moreland just talks about that in this book. It's an excellent book and one of my favorites. Book number 2 would be this one by William Lane Craig. It is called On Guard. If you're familiar with William Lane Craig, he is one of the most popular current philosophers, theologians, apologists. He's done a number of debates that you can find on YouTube, debating atheists, Muslims, and others. And William Lane Craig has another book called Reasonable Faith, which is much more academic. Um, what he does in On Guard is he takes a lot of that information and he just brings it down to a much more accessible level. So this is a great book for those of you who are maybe beginners or intermediate in the area of apologetics. He talks about arguments for the existence of God, the absurdity of life without God, evidence for the resurrection, and things like that. So again, just another great book, On Guard. Third book I would recommend, or that has been influential, life-changing in my own life, is this book, Tactics by Greg Koukl. Greg Koukl is from Stand to Reason. They have an excellent website at str.org. And the subtitle of this book is A Game Plan for Discussing Your Christian Convictions. So Koukl in this book just gives us various tactics to use in our conversations, how to navigate conversations with unbelievers or atheists or those from a different worldview, good questions to ask, how to again navigate those conversations without becoming nervous or anxious, and helping to give others something to think about and to walk away from a conversation with at least something to consider regarding Christianity and the truth of the Christian worldview. So again, I think this is a must read for Christians if you're going to be involved in apologetics. Book number 4 would be this one, The Case for the Resurrection of Jesus by Gary Habermas and Michael Licona. Both Habermas and Licona have other books that are really good. This is, I think, one of their best ones on the resurrection. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15 that if Christ has not been raised from the dead, then we of all people are the most to be pitied, that our faith is useless and we are still in our sins. Okay? Whether or not Christianity is true stands or falls on the resurrection. The resurrection of Jesus has always been proclaimed as a historical event. It's really important if you're a Christian that you know how to defend the resurrection and that you're familiar with the evidence for the resurrection of Jesus. And so what they do in this book is they go through what they call the minimal facts. And these facts are general facts that are accepted by a majority of scholars, And then taking those facts, they argue that the best explanation for those facts is the physical bodily resurrection of Jesus. So that would be book number 4. Again, a very important book on the resurrection. And then finally, my 5th book that I would recommend is this one by Clay Jones, Why Does God Allow Evil? Clay Jones was one of my professors at Biola University, and he taught a class on this specific topic, and a lot of that information then eventually became what's in this book now. Why does God allow evil? That's probably the number one question or objection that is raised against the Christian faith. If God is all loving and God is all good, why does he allow pain and suffering and evil to exist? So Clay Jones, again, just does an excellent job in this book. This is one of my favorite books on the topic, and I highly recommend it. So that is it for my top 5, or 5 of the most influential, life-changing books in the area of apologetics. I hope you get to get your hands on some of those books. I hope they are helpful to you in your Christian faith and your Christian walk. Thanks.